Today we are a bit reminiscent and talk about the meteorological catastrophe of 14 degrees and drizzle, and that at a time when I'm sitting here at least 35 degrees in my studio and sweating like hell. But when international travelers envision the arrival of the summer season, their minds typically conjure up idyllic images of golden sandy beaches, brilliant cloudless skies, and the gentle warmth of a tropical sun. However, for the population of the United Kingdom, the official commencement of June represented a completely different kind of atmospheric reality, one that can only be described as a grand administrative error by the heavens themselves. Recently, the British meteorological, that is a bad word really, and the Meteorological Office formally declared the arrival of the warmer months, an announcement that was instantly met with a catastrophic reality consisting of a relentless 14 degrees Celsius and a persistent depressing drizzle. For outside observers looking at this island nation from afar, it's almost impossible to comprehend the absolute psychological stubbornness that grips the domestic populace the moment the calendar flips to the month of June. Regardless of the actual physical data displayed on their digital temperature devices, millions of British citizens collectively decide that the season of warmth has legally arrived, initiating a series of bizarre cultural rituals that border on absolute madness. The most prominent and sacred of these activities involves the immediate and non-negotiable migration of the local population toward the nearest open-air establishment, universally known across the country as the traditional pub beer garden. On any ordinary winter afternoon, a temperature of 14 degrees with moisture falling from the sky would cause the average resident to retreat inside, lock their doors, and activate their central heating systems at maximum capacity. But because it's officially summer, an kind of invisible psychological switch is flipped, forcing thousands of patriots to sit outside on damp wooden benches while wearing nothing but thin cotton t-shirts and bright tropical shorts. They sit huddled together in the freezing grey mist, their teeth audibly chattering against the rims of their pint glasses, stubbornly refusing to admit that they are currently experiencing mild symptoms of hypothermia. And if you dare to approach one of these shivering individuals and point out that the weather is objectively miserable, they will look you dead in the eye and aggressively insist that the falling moisture is actually just a very refreshing breeze. There is a magnificent, unyielding comedy in watching a human being turn a distinct shade of translucent blue while confidently nursing a carbonated beverage, entirely convinced they are living the Mediterranean dream. The structural absurdity of the British climate means that a single fleeting glimpse of a pale yellow sun behind a thick wall of cumulus clouds is treated as a major national holiday. Instantly, local supermarkets are completely ransacked by frantic consumers desperate to purchase industrial quantities of disposable barbecue grills, processed sausages, and highly flammable charcoal blocks. These hopeful backyard chefs will then spend the rest of their afternoon standing under a large umbrella, desperately trying to protect a burning piece of chicken from a sudden localized downpour that everyone pretends is not actually happening. International audiences must appreciate the sheer logistical dedication required to maintain this collective illusion of tropical paradise in an environment that behaves like a refrigerated car wash. The fashion choices alone during this atmospheric catastrophe are worth an extended anthropological investigation, as people completely abandon all common sense in favor of seasonal optimism. You will regularly witness gentlemen walking down the high street in floral shirts and sandals, despite the fact that the wind speed is currently high enough to dismantle a standard garden shed. The local public transport networks quickly become hotbeds of olfactory distress as commuters refuse to close the windows, blindly insisting that the damp chilly air circulating through the train carriage is exactly what a pleasant June evening requires. It highlights a very specific kind of national defiance, a cultural refusal to let the harsh parameters of North Atlantic geography dictate how a civilized society should enjoy its designated holiday months. In a global media landscape that is continuously overwhelmed by heavy news cycles, tracking the magnificent illusion of the British summer provides an unparalleled reason to smile, reminding us all to embrace the damned warmth of a 14-degree dream.